Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that really connects every single one of us, this idea of a normal life. And we're going to explore a pretty powerful question. What if the peace we're all looking for isn't somewhere out there, but is actually already hidden right inside our daily routines?
But first, let's just start with a question. Do you ever kind of look around at your life, the day-to-day, the chores, the predictable rhythm of it all, and just think, is this it? Is my life just normal? Is it boring? If you've ever had that thought, I really want you to know you are so not alone in that.
All right, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by tackling that just normal feeling. Then we'll redefine what a normal life actually is. We'll look for ways to spot joy in the small things, and then cover some simple steps to find a little more peace. And we'll wrap it all up with a really important idea, that your normal life is, in fact, enough. Okay, let's dive right into our first section. So, why do so many of us feel like our lives are somehow missing something? Well, a huge part of it is this constant pressure we feel to be living some kind of super exciting, extraordinary life all the time. And this right here just nails the problem, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the social media life. It's this perfect highlight reel of exotic trips and flawless moments. And on the other side, there's our real life, work, chores, feeling tired, and dealing with actual problems. It's this thing called social comparison, and it's basically hardwired into us. But online, the game is totally rigged because we're comparing their highlights to our behind-the-scenes footage. And that's really the thing to remember, right? People are showing you their wins, not their struggles. They're not posting pictures of themselves feeling lonely or overwhelmed or just washing a sink full of dishes. So when we compare our entire messy, complicated, beautiful, real life to someone else's carefully curated highlight reel, well, we're playing a game we just can't win. So if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, it starts by just throwing out that old, unfair definition of normal and coming up with a much healthier one. So let's ask ourselves, what really is a normal life anyway? You see, a normal life isn't a perfect life. It's a human one. It's got good days, and yeah, it's got bad days. It's made up of those simple routines that keep us grounded, problems that make us grow, and those quiet moments of safety and rest that help us recharge. It's not about being perfect. It's about the full, rich experience of being human. And this idea is so freeing. There's no single universal standard for what normal is supposed to look like. Your life is going to look different from your neighbors or from that influencer you follow online, and that is totally okay. Your normal isn't wrong. It's just yours. It's kind of like the person who chases a life of non-stop adventure, always on the move, always looking for the next big thing. And after a while, they realize what they truly miss are the simple, normal things, cooking a meal in their own kitchen or taking a quiet walk down a familiar street. It teaches us that a normal life isn't a cage. It's more like a safe, warm home we can always come back to. So if our normal life is our home base, how do we make it feel more joyful? This next part is all about a skill, a practical skill we can all learn, how to see the beauty that's already there, often hidden in our daily routines. Okay, here's a simple but honestly an incredibly powerful exercise. First, just pause. Just for a second. Take a slow breath. Now, think of 3 small, simple things from your day that brought you even a tiny little spark of joy. And then finally, just for a moment, let yourself really feel the gratitude for them. And what do these small joys even look like? Well, it could be that first sip of coffee in the morning. It could be a nice text from a friend that pops up on your phone. Or just the feeling of cool air on a quiet walk. See, it's not about these big, dramatic moments. It's about learning to spot the little pockets of contentment that are already scattered throughout our normal days.
Spotting these small joys is a great first step. So next, let's look at how we can use that awareness to actually build a calmer, more contented life. We can actively create more peace through just a few simple core ideas.
We often think of routine as boring, but it can be an incredible source of peace. A calm, predictable routine actually helps quiet the mind. It creates a stable foundation, a sense of order in a world that can feel pretty chaotic sometimes. It's the structure that supports everything else. This is such a powerful phrase to have in your back pocket. When life feels totally overwhelming, just remember these 2 words, step by step. You don't have to fix everything all at once. Just focus on the one small thing you can do right now. This approach doesn't just lower your stress, it gives you back a sense of calm control.
And that leads right into this idea of a little every day. Whether it's showing a bit of kindness or taking 5 minutes for yourself or learning something new,
Small, consistent actions are so much more powerful than doing some grand gesture once in a blue moon. Over time, all those tiny steps really do add up to create big, positive changes in our lives.
And all of this, the routines, spotting the small joys, the step-by-step approach, it all brings us to our final and maybe our most important destination. And that is the realization that your life, exactly as it is right now, is already valuable and already complete.
Let's start with this powerful truth. Your life doesn't have to be famous or extraordinary to have meaning. The quiet ways you show kindness, the work you do, the way you show up for the people in your life, all of that has deep, real value.
And that brings us to the core message of this whole explainer. You don't need another achievement or more stuff or a totally different life to be worthy of peace and happiness. You are enough, and your normal life is enough right here in this moment. That's a profound act of self-acceptance. And finally, I really want you to remember this. Bravery isn't just about big, heroic acts you see in movies. Just getting through a normal day, with all its little ups and downs, takes real strength. The fact that you get up every morning and you just try, especially when you're tired, especially when it's hard, that is an act of real courage.
So what's the big takeaway? Well, it really just boils down to this. First, give yourself permission to love your normal life. Second, start training your eyes to see its hidden value. And third, never, ever forget that you, just as you are, in your quiet, normal existence, you are important.
So I'll leave you with one last thing to carry with you. After everything we've talked about, I have a simple question for you. What is one small, good thing in your normal life that you're going to make a point to really notice today?